The colony on Titan has been around for as long as mankind has been exploring the stars. It was one of the first colonies ever created, and was, in fact, where much of the research that went into the development of off-world habitation pods for use on inhospitable planets was conducted. And for this reason, the colony on Titan has an important place in the history of mankind's exploration of the stars. Hence, it's become a bit of a tourist destination. People come from all over the settled systems to explore Titan and see what life was like for early space colonists. However, there are locals that live on Titan, locals who grew up here and have spent their entire lives here. Locals who don't really take kindly to a bunch of tourists wandering all over their home.
You don't want to get hurt or sick around here. Dr. Lakota really doesn't care for tourists. Wish someone could convince her otherwise.
This is why, one day when we're exploring Titan and we talk to the doctor, she has an interesting proposition for us.
Great! Another tourist. Let me guess. You slipped on the ice and need a doctor to wrap your sprained ankle?
What's your problem with tourists? Don't they help the local economy?
They do, but they're also a terrible burden for a small colony doctor like myself. I have enough trouble treating our own people with the time and resources I have.
That's kind of a terrible attitude for a doctor.
Maybe. I'm sorry if it sounded harsh. I'm just frustrated. However, I think if you walked a mile in my shoes, you'd probably feel the same. Anyway, what can I do for you?
Is it frustrated or frustrated? I always wondered. Is it difficult being a doctor in such an old-fashioned community?
Even though we don't have shiny new medical facilities, I imagine it's easier than wherever you're from. We have fewer people here, and we're very responsible when it comes to our personal health and welfare. So there's not much I can't handle. For anything else, we can get access to off-world specialists. Contrary to popular belief, we're not primitive.
Are there any dangerous hazards to worry about on Titan?
It's a harsh world, but as long as you're inside or wear a suit when going out, you'll be fine here. There's no breathable air on the surface, and you'll quickly freeze to death outside without protective gear, but otherwise the hazards are minimal. New Homestead was an early colony research base and has stood the test of time. It's safe, and it's proof that people can live pretty much anywhere. Don't worry so much.
You really don't seem to like the tourists.
I don't. They make a mockery of New Homestead culture. And on top of it, they're reckless. It's like I said before, I feel like I'm treating them more often than our own people.
It must keep you busy, but what's so bad about that?
The problem is that most of the tourists' injuries are from preventable accidents, things our people know how to avoid. And often I have to take care of them first because they can't leave with their injuries, so I have to put off seeing my regular patients. So not only am I working extra hard for people who have little respect for me, it comes at the expense of our own.
Sounds frustrating. I wish there was something I could do.
Actually, maybe there is. I have an idea that may be best suited for someone relatively unknown, instead of myself. I've got a mountain of work and a reputation to maintain. So I bought a realistic monster costume. The plan was to wear it, scare tourists away, and start a rumor about terrible creatures living on Titan. I figure that once word gets around, tourism will take enough of a dive to give me some relief.
Oh, brilliant. Because word of a crazy creature on Titan will repel tourists instead of attracting tourists. Well, it sounds ridiculous. Do you really think it'll work?
Maybe, I'm not sure. I know it sounds crazy, but I don't have any other ideas. The tourism board flat out won't help me, and I don't have money in the budget to hire additional help. And you know these tourists will believe anything they see and hear. I think it's worth a shot. Worst case scenario, I'm back to square one.
Now that just sounds fun. I don't care if it works. I'll do it anyway.
That's the spirit. To be honest, I'm not sure it'll work either, but I feel like there's no harm in trying. Here's the costume. I think this will work best on the surface, so just find a group and run up to them, acting like a convincing alien monster. With any luck, they'll run screaming and book the next flight out of here.
With that, we begin the quest, Tourists Go Home, and she gives us A monster costume! Look at this creepy thing. It kinda looks like a tardigrade a little bit with that giant hole in the face, though it has way too many tentacles for that. It's truly bizarre. Not exactly frightening? Well, we can take it out for a spin, but along the way, we hear commentary from some of the Titan residents, and they're not exactly scared of our costume.
What are you supposed to be? It looks so stupid and silly.
Interesting costume you have there.
Very spooky.
Wow. That's some costume you got there.
Oh, get out of here with that atrocious thing. You're gonna scare the children.
Ooh, cool costume. Are you supposed to be scary? Because I'm not scared.
Once outside, we can find a group of tourists and put on our best monster impression. Roar! Roar!
Thank God! What is that thing?
Roar! Roar! Tourists, roar! Oh, I got you! The tourists flee in fear, and we can chase them down.
It's chasing me! No! Leave me alone!
Roar! Roar!
Get away from me! Hope you are not looking to cause any trouble in that costume of yours.
With the tourists adequately scared, we can head back inside and return to the good doctor. Where'd you get a costume like that anyway?
I bought it from a private seller. They said they got it from someone who wore it in a secondary school as their sports team mascot. I guess it was supposed to be a tardigrade or something. Anyway, the person I bought it from modified it a bit so they could use it in an independent movie they were making. But I guess that went nowhere, so they had to sell it. Lucky me, I suppose.
Okay, well that explains the tentacles and stuff on the tardigrade. It's a modified tardigrade costume. Well, I scared off some tourists for you.
Oh, I'm glad it worked. Thank you. With any luck, I'll be able to give more attention to my regular patients now. Tell you what, if you want to come back later and do this for me a couple more times, I'll even let you keep the costume.
With that, we complete the quest, and she takes the costume back, but she let us know that we could potentially keep it. Several days later, we can return to the doctor and try again.
I think it's time to put on the monster costume again. What do you say? I saw another group of tourists making their way outdoors, ripe for scaring. Want to help me out again?
Yeah, I can help you scare away the tourists again if you like.
Yeah, I think it's about time to try this again. If we keep it up, word is bound to get around about the monster of Titan. Are you ready to put on the monster costume and go scare them right now?
Do you really think this is helping?
I can't argue with the results. Tourist accidents have been down since we started doing this. So, yes?
You mean it's working? We're actually helping people? Sure, now is good.
I think it might be worth trying. Good luck out there.
With that, we get the costume again. And we get some rather conflicting information from the people living here at New Homestead.
I heard some of the tourists talking about you in that costume. Not sure what you're doing, but people seem to like it.
Okay, so is it scaring them or do they like it? I guess both. This time, it's dark and snowing. We can make the weather even more terrifying by sneaking up behind these poor tourists and going, rah!
It's going to eat us! Run!
Chasing the tourists back to New Homestead, we can terrify them further.
Run away! What is that thing? Oh, get away! Get away!
They even stay scared once we get inside.
No! Leave me alone! It's going to eat me!
Back to the doctor, we can tell her of our success.
Don't be afraid to do whatever you can to make that monster feel extra convincing. Just don't hurt anyone.
I scared off some tourists for you.
I'll bet they won't be coming back anytime soon. Thanks for indulging me with my weird ideas. Come back in a few days to do this for me again, and that costume is yours. All right?
With that, we complete the quest again and snag another 3,000 credits. A few days later, we can return to the good doctor and try this a third and final time.
Whatever you did last time with the monster costume worked out well, but there are still some more tourists. Care to give it another try?
Yes.
Okay, why not? We don't want to let these monster sightings go too few and far between. We're bound to see results soon. Are you ready to put on the monster costume and go scare them right now?
Yes.
Why not? Just be careful out there. I don't want to see you wind up in my clinic.
With the monster costume equipped yet again, we can head back outside, and we hear some passing chatter that it might be working.
Well, we used to get more tourists than we do these days.
They're getting fewer tourists than they used to. Could that be due to our efforts? Heading back outside in the dead of night, we can track down another group of tourists.
It's going to eat us! Run!
And they race away, terrified to their core.
Get away! Get away!
Get away from me!
Back to the good doctor, we can tell her of our success.
I'll bet they won't be coming back anytime soon. Thanks for indulging me with my weird ideas. Oh, I managed to find another costume for you to keep. I'll hold on to the old one in case we still need it. Come back anytime.
With that, we decimate the tourism industry of New Homestead. Hooray! And we get a different monster costume. This one is a legit spacesuit. However, it doesn't give us any elemental resistances at all, and even at my higher level here, only gives us 50 physical, 50 energy, and 50 EM resistances. Not exactly a practical spacesuit, but it looks great. On our way out, we meet a fellow who's just living the New Homestead life.
If you'll pardon me, I'm not in the mood to talk.
Clearly not. You're busy with something else? Now, we got some interesting side dialogue from people while we were walking around wearing this costume, but viewers of my live stream told me in the chat that wearing this costume during certain quests can unlock additional dialogue. For example, if we're wearing the costume when we first board the ECS Constant, that colony ship that left Earth 200 years ago and hasn't seen a living creature since then, we get a different response from the captain.
What are you? Wait, are you just a human in some sort of strange suit?
And we get a new dialogue option here, and the one about a monster with tentacles suddenly makes way more sense. However, the new dialogue option is to say, okay, so the costume didn't fool you then. Darn.
Not exactly. Sorry to disappoint. But still, how? We didn't believe anyone else left the Earth.
But then the quest goes on like normal. But I'm curious if there are other quests that have unique dialogue with this costume. Have you found any others in your gameplay? If so, share it with me in the comments section below. I'd love to learn about it. Thanks for watching, everybody. I publish new Starfield episodes each week on my channel and have almost daily Starfield live streams. So if you want to see more, be sure to subscribe and to click that bell notification button. If you have already, but you still feel like you're missing out on YouTube notifications, consider following me on Twitter at Oxhorn. I update Twitter manually with every new piece of content that I publish. I've got an Ox merch shop with completely unique designs that you can't find anywhere else. My designs come on shirts in a variety of men's, women's, and children's sizes, and in a wide array of colors. You can find them on other products as well, like smartphone cases, pillows, posters, mugs, stickers, prints, etc. So if interested, you can find a link to my shop in the description below, or you can click here. If you like what I do and you want to support me in another way, consider becoming a patron on Patreon or a member here on YouTube. YouTube members get little badges that appear next to their names in the comment sections of my videos, and they get access to Ox emojis that they can use in my video comments and in the live chats of my live streams. But more than anything, I'm just so glad you're here watching this video with me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon with more Starfield videos.
Here we are. Let's talk.